Hey guys, this is Brock. Back at it again with another video. Wanted to go over one of the different types of softwares that I use on a daily basis as a young construction superintendent, and that being BuildZen. BuildZen is an in-house software that my company created and uses to help manage our projects. And as you can see, here's just a list of some of the projects that I have and currently working on, or that were under my supervision but are currently kind of in the closeout process. So let's go to my current project, which is 3960 Freedom Circle second floor flex workspace. This is a second floor demising project. It was a full second floor gut out, redoing the bathrooms, and we're splitting the space into four separate suites with four different break rooms and different layouts. So as you can see, we have the dashboard. You can kind of get a map of, where the job is, a brief description, what stage we're in, the size of the job, and the type of job. And then a little bit of the project information of, who's the prime contractor and who we're working for. And then you kind of get an RFI summary and a submittal summary. So to begin with, we have our subcontracts. This is one of the tools that I use on a daily basis, mostly so that I can basically verify in the field what we're supposed to be doing. So for example, I had a sub on site, and they were not aware of an alternate that was accepted, and I wasn't aware of that either. So what I did is I went to their subcontract, and I went to their original scope of work, and I saw that what was needed to be done wasn't there. But if you go to their schedule of values, you can see that there was an addition that was accepted right here. There was a $24,000, and basically this ad was to, do any patchwork that was in and around the bathrooms that we gutted out. And because there was a few existing walls that stayed up, and so there was some patchwork that we needed to get done, and that was tracked in this cost that we had. And this was an alternate that was accepted during the bidding process. So that's something super beneficial because, let's say I didn't check this, and obviously the foreman on site for this trade didn't receive this information from his office. We would have gone through the tag process, tracking hours, and then all this information would have got sent to this office. They would have gone through the pricing process and then doing all this paperwork, all at the very end to figure out that, oh, wait, we were already paid for this. And they wasted a bunch of time and effort. So this is something that I really like to use. And it's all here, and you can filter it, depending on where we're at, if it's been executed. Obviously, this is kind of the pre-construction process. So it's pretty awesome to use, and honestly, I use it every single day. And kind of like I said in one of my previous videos, mainly from my phone, and it transfers pretty seamlessly over to the iOS platform on my phone, and so I'm able to see basically all this information here. So another one that I'm using fairly so often, we get a lot of questions. Obviously, with TIs, there's a lot of existing conditions, and so there's tons of RFIs that come up. And so one thing that I like to see is you can kind of see, you have your close draft. I drafted one up Friday because it's something I wanted to talk with my project manager when she gets back, just to kind of make sure that we're on the same page before it gets sent out. And basically, this is the layout of the RFI. We have background, kind of going over, what the issue is, and then we have our question, and then we have our attachments. And then later on, once this gets issued, you'll be able to see, all the people who are supposed to answer. And one thing that I really like about our RFI process is that sometimes there's issues that come up where you'll get an answer, but it's not the answer that you're wanting to get for your RFI. And so what we have is a comment section. And in here, we can leave a comment and submit it without closing out the RFI so that we can make sure that we get all the clarifications that we need before something gets closed out. Obviously, like, in Procore, if you get an answer that you don't like, you can push that ball back in the court, and then, that ball keeps getting moved around. But for us, we just have this comment section that makes it pretty nice. And then once the RFI gets closed out, it automatically gets distributed to those that are on the distribution list. Then the other thing that I use fairly so often, especially when we have new finishes that come on site, is the submittals. And with the submittals, obviously, submittals are basically the same wherever you go. We go into there, and I can pull up again from my phone, pull up the attachment, and all this information comes up. I'm able to see it from my phone and check it on site. And so, not having to run to and from the job office to double check on information like this. So that's pretty awesome. And again, also with this, we have that comment section, and then you can also see who's viewed it, and then whoever it is assigned to, they can answer right there. And then there's just a few of the details that you can see. When was it submitted? When was it closed? If there were lead times, you could add that in there. When is it required? Priority. Kind of some of the similar things that you would see on any other project management software. Also, another thing that I really like is the team, kind of similar to Procore. Sometimes I can't find someone's number, so I can either search by their company name, and it pulls everyone up that's from Creative Ceilings. And then I was like, oh, I need Reed Johnson's phone number. Boom, right there. And then his email as well. So pretty awesome. Now, something else that I really like to look at, because this is something where you also see the alternates. And so you go to issue for permit, and then we can go into the estimate. And then we can say, all right, I need to get some I want to do a progress clean. How much money do we have left for doing the progress clean? And so you can go into here, and let's go to, let's see, second floor suites. There we go. And so we can go to the cleaning. Let's see, where do we have that at? Progress cleaning labor. So we have $2,700 allocated for that. How much money have we used? And then you're able to look at that in the budget itself. So something really awesome about Builds-In is that other than just, RFI processing, submittal processing, and, this communication between owner, architect, and contractor, we're also able to create an estimate, get our three, bids, depending on how many we go through, and then we are able to seamlessly and automatically, figure out who wins the bid, and then send out that information. And everything's automatic. Once that person wins the bid, contracts get sent out, and it's really awesome. But not a process that I'm a part of, but something that I always tend to look at just to make sure that, I'm not costing the job money. And that's something that we can see in the budget that, ties in with our estimate. So kind of like how we were looking at, progress cleans. Here we go, progress clean and labor. We can see, what we originally had put into that. Looks like we had a little bit more money put into that. And then we can kind of see, how much we've, used and how much we have left. So I just hope that was beneficial as to, kind of knowing, part of the pre-construction process, but more so what I do every day. So more so just kind of to reiterate what I do every day within Builds-In is I, look at the subcontracts, I look at the RFIs, I create RFIs. I'm constantly going through the submittals to make sure that what we are installing and what's on site is correct. And every now and then I'll kind of take a look at the estimate and the budget. I'll especially look at the estimate at the beginning of the project to help me gain a better understanding as what's going on the job. So that's also something that's super helpful. Usually we'll have a kickoff meeting before a job starts, and we'll look through the estimate and kind of go through each of the scopes to make sure that we are all on the same page as what's going on. And it also helps me to be able to true up my schedule as to how I put the logic in there with, whatever the trades are doing. So that's something that I like to look at the very beginning of the project. And then I would say that the budget is what I look at during the project. But again, subcontracts, change events, and RFIs and submittals is kind of like on a daily for me. And so there we have it. As you can see, this is the project dashboard again, so we can go through all the different projects that I have. Another thing that's super easy, like this is where I do my time, and usually how you have to keep typing in all the same different cost codes. So what's pretty cool. So I'll go back to a previous week, and so here we have all the different jobs that I was on. And what I can do for the week that we're going into is copy previous week. And now that just saved me maybe, let's just say 5 minutes worth of time, because originally with any other project management software that you'd be on, you'd have add project. All right, what was the number that I had for that job? All right, let's type that in. And so super, super easy, and makes, work easy. So that's a pretty awesome feature that we have right there. And if you want to use it, I haven't used it as much because I'm more of a pen and paper or marker board type of guy. So if you want, you can add tasks that will give you notifications, either via email or through here as well, to make sure that you're doing all the things that you had set out to do that day. So I've used it every now and then, but for the most part, I write all the things that I need down on my market board in my job office. So I hope this was super beneficial. Next video, I kind of wanted to go more in depth on what is on my my person every day, on my job vest. So that'll be a fun little video to do. Probably do that on site, so you can kind of see what my construction everyday carry is. But hopefully that this was a super beneficial video and gives you an idea of the other types of different project management softwares out there. And if you ever have any questions, you can reach out to me, and hopefully I can answer them. All right, y'all have a good one.